My journey started sophomore year of high school when I created my first startup, Mixers Audio. It was through the struggles and self-exploration that I was exposed to the immense wealth of our community, our culture, our people, and why we're not just another state, even though we might be confused with Southern Canada sometimes. As you can see, I'm brown, and specifically Indian brown. My family moved here in the early 2000s, and we've basically lived in Plymouth, Minnesota ever since. It's a great place to be. You should check it out if you haven't. My dad was born in India in a really small town, had no running water, but he had people with tremendous heart. And according to him, he biked to school uphill in the mud, in the rain, I'm not sure if it's metaphorically or figuratively, to work his way to work in Minneapolis for Target Corporation. I had a lot of options on what I wanted to become when I grew up. I could be a doctor, an engineer, a lawyer, or disowned. And I basically picked the default value of not getting disowned, and I wanted to become a programmer at Google. So ever since I was a little kid, about this tall, in second grade, I wanted to work at Google. I wanted to become a programmer, and that's kind of my mindset. And so over the last second grade to ninth grade years, that's what I wanted to become. And it wasn't until sophomore year of high school where a few teachers saw something in me. I'm not sure what they saw, but they basically convinced my parents to send me to a startup boot camp in Chicago. And it was about 4 months. So I spent 4 months of my sophomore year building my first startup, Mixers Audio. It's basically a product where you can mix and match your earbuds to create your own style of sound. So we like to say, don't compromise, customize. And after we came back from the incubator, it's an incubator, so they basically let you off the hook. They say, go on with your baby. And I am 15, so I didn't know what to do. And what happened then was I needed to recruit top talent, right? Startup company, had to recruit the top talent that we could find. So I looked at my high school, and I had 15 people in my startup company. 15 people. We had no revenue, okay? I had 2 people in my finance department for numbers we didn't have. 2 people in my marketing department for a product we didn't know what would look like. 2 people in my engineering department for a product we didn't know would look like. And of course, yours truly was the CEO of it all. So interestingly enough, I think I mentioned we were all 15. 15-year-olds in a startup company isn't a very compelling investor pitch. And we didn't have much going for us, if anything at all. So long story short, that was the case. But it didn't stop the outpouring of support from our local communities. The number of individuals that were willing to take a chance on this was incredible. And now today, along with running Mixers, I also run 2 other startups in medical technology and retail that are all now either angel-backed or venture-funded. So that's where I am now. And you might be thinking I'm like 25 or 26. Well, he ruined it. But I'm actually 19. And that's what I am. I'm somewhat of an entrepreneur. So over the last 4 years of this entrepreneurial journey, I've learned a lot, and if there's one thing I've learned, it's pretty much that I'm as dumb as a donut when it comes to starting businesses. I'm not good with money, I'm not good with people, and I usually don't know what the hell I'm doing. Case in point. So but all that aside, it didn't stop the support of the community. Without the people and the mentors that I met in this, I wouldn't be able to say the things I am to the people I do with the confidence that I have, with the utmost humility in my heart. I continue to look back and every day realize that if it wasn't for me moving to Minnesota and my dad biking up the hill both ways, I wouldn't be able to start the things I have and had any of the success that I'm enjoying today. So today, along with running 3 other startups, I also work on a coalition of public and private sector partners called Forge North. I'm wearing the t-shirt today. And Forge North is basically a group that's meeting, and we're trying to build Minnesota into the next hub for startup innovation. So why? Because Silicon Valley is overrated. There's weird people there, there's a lot of money, and I'm kind of tired of hearing about them. And I think, and we think, that with the right moves and the right plays and the right people, we can make Minnesota into the next startup capital of the North. Now you might be thinking, well there, Bharat, that's a big play. Can you really do that? Well, let me tell you what we've already done, right? Minnesota's ranked 4th in the nation for job quality, third for business vitality, second for infrastructure, and first for environmental health. We have the lowest unemployment rates and the highest prosperity rates when compared against 11 other peer cities across the nation, according to Greater MSP's Regional Indicators Dashboard. And of course, we're also voted the third best state to live in. So, woot woot, that's awesome, right? So, there's been a lot of talk about this thing called the North. Old North, Forge North, North Star. It's drilled into our heads at this point. But North isn't just a word. It's a direction. It's a state of mind. It's the apex of all of our cumulative work. It's who we are, it's what we represent, and it's where we are headed together. It's the culmination of over 200 years of Minnesotan pride that have brought us from a simple trading region to the economic powerhouse we are today. And let me tell you, it's about damn time that we started behaving like it. We have 20 of the nation's largest companies, some of the greatest artists and innovators, and of course, the world's nicest people. So why is it that we don't say it like it is, right? With all this taken into account, sometimes Minnesota Nice is a double-edged sword, right? We collectively hate confrontation, but we also tend to push big problems aside. We've got a lot going for us here. But maybe it's because of this thing that some of our cities are the most racially divided, and some of our cities are the most unequal. We have a lot going for us here, but it's time we strive to do more and do it better. Because here in Minnesota, here in the North, this is a place where things are forged, ideas are hatched, and momentum continues to strive ever upward. It's because we're good neighbors. We have grit, and we brave storms. It's because this is a place where things aren't just discussed, they're actually solved. Take a look outside. Look at our community. It's evolving, it's changing, it's adapting, it's incredible. And it's time for us to realize that it's the sparks of our combined labor that are going to ignite the next chapter of growth here in Minnesota. It's time for us to start acting like this isn't flyover country anymore, because now here it's fly here country. Our people, our cities, our communities, our neighborhoods are boroughs meant for a special breed of person. Innovators, thinkers, doers, and dreamers. For those who look at the biggest problems and say, let's get the hell to work. So the next time someone asks you how the weather is up here, I hate that question, okay? Next time someone asks you how the weather is up here, lie to them, okay? Just lie to them. Tell them you love sub-zero temperatures. Tell them you love shoveling the snow. Tell them you love going home in a cold car. And don't forget to tell them that this is a place for those who innovate, those who brave, those who continue to challenge the status quo, and those who day after day, week after week, month after month, continue to forge north. Thank you.